Alright, ladies and gents, before I begin, let me address something. No, I'm not Ned Flanders' evil twin. Neither am I Sulk Hogan. And I'm definitely not Bert Rims Holes. I do like the moustache, but I do get a fair few comments. The other day someone told me I look like one of the Chuckle Brothers' bastard children. Someone shouted at me the other day from a van. They said, "Hey, Magnum P. Doe." I'm not sure if I have to do a DBS check to continue doing that bit at the moment, but we'll carry on. Someone told me that I look like Ron Swanson if he went vegan. One Parks and Recs fan in. Thanks for coming out, Robin. Cheers. But my personal favourite is someone told me I look like Freddie Mercury in the dying stages of AIDS. So here we are. There's something else I've got to get off my chest. I've got to admit, you know the Edward Colston statue in Bristol? The statue of the slaver that they pulled down? Well, I've got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that my ancestors very nearly profited off Edward Colston. It's just a shame my granddad couldn't fish him out in the harbour in time for the scrap metal. So, we've got a good crowd in here tonight. I thought we'd have a slightly bigger crowd. I was expecting two big groups in, one being the COVID police and two being the paedophile hunters looking for Dylan Jones. But fuck that cunt, eh? This is how we deal with nonsense in the comedy community. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I was born in Bristol, but I grew up down in Somerset, and wherever I go in the country, I like to clarify that, because wherever I go in the country, everyone knows you can't catch incest. So here we are. Next bit, I'm just going to tell you some stuff that I learned during lockdown. I learned that animals may be great judges of characters, but apparently tigers don't know shit. My dog's loyal, but if I started doing meth and fucking straight men, even he'd run away. Especially if I did it again. What else did I learn? I learned that hand sanitizer was on sale to the general public beforehand. Women in the audience looking at me completely blank. Men understand this. The only men I know who used hand sanitizer before COVID live in my local park. So, but no, the one thing that I learned in COVID, the most important thing that I learned in COVID, is I got to work out which one of my neighbours would be good under a fascist regime. Everyone did the NHS clap, didn't they? I had this woman, she was down at number 58. Week 1, she was outside, she was clapping, she was looking around, who else was clapping. Week 2, she was walking up and down the street, banging pots and pans, calling people out. Week 3, she was fucking kicking in doors. I reckon if lockdown had gone on for another couple of weeks, she would have taken a Nissan Qashqai, gone on a lone wolf attack through the park. A bunch of coppers afterwards, they're confused, they're trying to work out, was she screaming death to the West or protect the NHS? Now, just before lockdown, I started doing Thai boxing, which I know on the surface sounds kind of cool, but essentially all I was doing was avoiding getting beaten up by teenagers. I love that I'm fucking nearly 30 and my life goals haven't changed in over 10 years. But no, what they do is they actually do it by weight class, so that meant just before lockdown I was actually fighting the instructor's dog. Don't give me that look, madam, it's a tough spaniel, alright? But no, true story, just before lockdown I was sparring with this 12-year-old fat kid, right? And he left hooked me and he genuinely gave me concussion. But don't worry, what I've been doing, I've been training during lockdown and I've worked out how I'm going to get him back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block, I'm going to jab, and I'm going to fuck his mum. Because in life, if you can't be the biggest or strongest, be the most ruthless. I'm unemployed at the moment. There's a fucking long queue for the dole. But basically, because I'm unemployed, it means I spend most of my days chatting to recruiters. I was chatting to this recruiter the other day, and she said, "We've had a look through your CV, Mr. Flynn. Everything looks great. We just see you've got a career gap at 16, 17. Do you mind telling us what you were doing at this time?" And I'm thinking to myself, if you got up, got dressed, and made your way safely to the interview, does anyone give a fuck what you're doing at 16, 17? Answer's MCAT, speed and ecstasy, by the way. But apparently that's not relevant experience in the pharmaceutical industry, so... I've had a lot of jobs over the years, though, and I think it's because I'm quite irritable. I get annoyed by a lot of things. I like, stuff pisses me off. At the moment, Jehovah's Witnesses piss me off. And I'll explain. If you don't know who Jehovah's Witnesses are, they're the people who stand outside of train stations where the homeless normally sit and try and stop people in a rush to talk to them about God. Now, I don't think this has ever worked, because if I can ignore the decay of Western civilization, I can definitely ignore you. But the thing that annoys me about Jehovah's Witnesses is Jehovah's Witnesses believe that there will only ever be, there's only 144,000 people who've ever been Jehovah's Witnesses will make it into the kingdom of heaven. There are currently 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses in the world. I'm sorry, if you sign up to a religion where you've got as much a chance of the afterlife as a ticket to Glastonbury, you're a special kind of fucking dumb. Do you know what else pisses me off? Vape shops. I think vape shops, right, should only exist as a place for the workers from CX to retire to. No, wait. Because it's their natural career progression, right? What they do is they work in CEX to like 16 to 24, they smoke all day and they chat to teenage girls. Then they move on to a vape shop, and all they do is they smoke all day and they chat to teenage girls. This guy over here knows what I'm talking about. This table looks like it's sponsored by Relentless, by the way. This is... and then you work at the vape shop, and then finally, one day, all your dreams come true. A group of men turn up at your house with a camera, and they finally make you famous for talking to teenage girls. So anyway, I sent them Dylan Jones' CV last night. And we'll see if we hear anything back. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys on a story. So a number of years ago, I got in a bit of trouble with the police for fighting a grown adult, not fucking kids, not looking at kids. Let's just clarify that. Well, I definitely need a DBS check for this fucking story. Thank you very much, you cunt. But no, I got in a bit of trouble for a fight that I had with this guy. And I know some of you look at me and you're like, why are you telling us this story, Dave? Well, the reason I'm telling you this story is that after I was sentenced and after I was given community service, the judge deemed me a medium threat to society. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In this scary, uncertain world, this is a medium threat to society. Suddenly the world doesn't look so scary anymore. There's a few women in the audience tonight who are thinking, fuck it, I'll walk home alone tonight. I reckon my spaniel could take him. I've been Dave Flynn, it's great to be back. Cheers, take care.
Give it up one more time for Dave Flynn, everyone.